guys ready for Paul? Paul!
Thank you. In 1979, I went to Nan's toy store in the Galleria, and I bought my first copy in the original box of Dungeons and Dragons. That's just the start of my nerd credentials. In 1980, when I found myself at Texas A&M because my parents didn't want me to go to Princeton because it was too far away, I saw a bunch of guys playing D&D, and my parents were with me. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna go talk to those guys. My mom tried to stop me, physically tried to stop me, because she was afraid. My dad let me go. One of those guys would be my best man 12 years later. Those guys were everything. They kept me alive during those tough times in college, and they made sure I passed chemistry that semester. Yeah, exactly. They were good friends. They told me when I did stupid things. They told me when I made mistakes. They told me mistakes have costs. And when you make a mistake and you pay the cost, you should get something from it. You should learn. That wasn't just chemistry class. If you screwed up in D&D, you could get the whole party killed. For those of you who don't get that, ask your kids. It'll be okay. Or anybody who plays World of Warcraft. Now, I love my nerdy friends who barely ever got married or had dates or drank anything but Coca-Cola. And we would sit in the same place in the student union at Texas A&M University, and we would play D&D whenever we had free time. And one day in April, that first year as a freshman, some people in tuxedos came over and told my friends they were too disheveled to be sitting where they were because they had a real event going on in the ballroom that day, and they didn't want these people to see my friends. And man, I was really unhappy with that. And I wanted to stick up for my friends, but before I could say anything, they all looked down at their shoes, picked up their stuff, and dutifully moved across the way. And I thought, these guys are jerks, not my friends, but the guys in the tux. I wasn't playing D&D that night, I was reading. And so I went to check out what the event was, and I was on the student council, and I was an athlete, and I was the vice chairman of one of the committees on campus, and I did a lot of other things. And it turns out this was a thing called casino night. Casino night is where you take real money, you give it to people, they give you fake money, you gamble it in the hopes of getting real things at the end of the night in an auction. I gave them my $5, they gave me $25,000. I went into the casino night and I watched all the frat boys give their frat boy friends cash even when they lost. So I was done in about 5 minutes, and I went back out to sit with my friends. And I thought, those guys are cheaters and they're rude. I don't like them. And they dissed my friends. So when they all left at the end of the night, they had left this one person, this one woman, all by herself to clean up the whole ballroom. I put my book down and I went to help her. And in the process, I collected all the cash, that fake cash from the casino night, because I thought, there's got to be a game that we could use this money for someday, right? This could be really fun. So then I got a box, and my nerddom kicked in, and I sorted all the money by denominations, and I put the biggest ones on the bottom of the box, and then I stacked them all up, and I used little rubber bands to keep them all, and then I put the box closed, and I put it in my closet at home that night, and I never thought about it again. My friends, on the other hand, were wonderful, and we became very close, and they helped me get through the next year of college. And then I saw those guys in tuxedos. And I realized, oh my gosh, has it been a year? It's casino night again. And I went and looked. And I should have remembered, being on the student council, They had used the exact same money. Same color, same denomination, exactly the same. And I had the exact same quantity they had bought. So I had as much money as they had. And I turned to my buddies and I said, what do you say we rob a casino? I think revenge in this situation is just fine. So I ran home, got the box, I distributed it to my friends. They wanted to go get dressed up. I said, no. If we're gonna rob this casino, we're gonna do it as nerds. There were shorts in that casino night, folks, and white knees, white knees. We bought the entire first auction, every single thing. And by the time the rest of the folks figured out what was happening, we had bought all but 2 things in the final auction. I remember one of the things was a steak dinner for 10. When I got to the student council Monday morning, there was a note in the boxes of every single person who worked there that said, hey, if you're going to have an event, don't forget to change your money or your tickets. And I thought, that was a really expensive, mistake for them. I hope they learn. And then I went to dinner with my friends at this wonderful steak restaurant. And I have heard that ill-gotten gain does not taste sweet. They're wrong. Thank you.